Matthew chapter 13 contains several different parables that Jesus used to teach the crowds that he was speaking to. The first parable in chapter 13 is the parable of the sower. A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, since they had no depth of soil, but when the sun rose, they were scorched. And since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Jesus' disciples then went to him and asked him why he speaks in parables, and he responded by saying, "To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to the one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance, but from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away." Many of those who did not see Jesus as the Messiah heard these parables that Jesus spoke, but did not truly understand them. But Jesus' disciples and others who saw Jesus as the Messiah were able to understand the truth that Jesus was speaking through them. Then Jesus goes on to explain the meaning of the parable of the sower. And ultimately what he gets at is that those who are built on good soil, who are planted in good soil, which represents those who hear God's message and understands his message and sees him as the Messiah, will be the ones that bear good fruit. The seeds that are sown on rocky ground represents those who hear God's word and they understand it and they receive God's word with joy, but ultimately they have no root in themselves and they cannot endure hardship or oppression. The seeds that are sown among thorns represent the people who hear the word, but they care too much of earthly things and of riches. So the word means nothing in this case. Then he tells the parable of the weeds. And what this parable is about is wheat and weeds that grow together within the same harvest. And Jesus explains to the disciples and to the crowd that this represents that the righteous and the wicked currently coexist. But at the end of the current age, God will separate the righteous from the wicked, and the righteous will inherit his kingdom, and then the wicked will face judgment. Then the parable of the mustard seed is given, and Jesus compares the kingdom of heaven to a mustard seed. It starts off so small, but ultimately becomes something very large. He also tells the parable of the leaven, which is in verse 33. It's the same idea as the parable of the mustard seed. Next is the parable of the hidden treasure. It says, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field."